Good morning, Debbie, you beautiful woman.
Hey, Freddie, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Let me go get my Bible real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, you got your niece and Brady. Good morning, Aunt Debbie.
Morning, y'all.
Let me go grab my coffee. What chapter we on, Aunt Debbie?
We're on 26, I think. Let me look here. 20, we did all the tribes. We're on 27.
27.
Yeah, we did all those tribes.
I
Thank God.
overslept the past 2 days.
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, I feel like it sometimes. All
Well,
this,
that don't ever happen to me, but it did.
well, it just happens. I had to set that alarm. I have it going off every minute, so I'll get on up. All this old rain and stuff, you don't want to get up and do nothing. I thought it was gonna be a pretty day today. I was gonna get up and mow. I'm still gonna go try to mow before it starts raining. But I don't know if it will let me or not. We need some sunshine.
What'd you say you needed, Debbie?
Oh, I was just saying, I was telling Randy we need some sunshine. I gotta mow this yard.
It was beautiful here yesterday. Matter of fact, we all got out. Caroline, her boyfriend was in town from Baton Rouge, and Meyer and Ashley. I got to sit a chair out and supervise, but they mowed the yard. Boy, it looked so good.
Yeah, it did. It was beautiful. Your trees were pretty, you planted, everything was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Did you see the tree we planted for Mama?
Yes, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So awesome. Yesterday was a great day. It really and truly was.
Great.
Today's gonna be another good one too.
Yes, it is, Freddie.
Randy, it's so good to see your face. You know, I see your name every morning, but it's just good to see your face.
You know, I've overslept the past 2 days.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I posted yesterday's just a few minutes ago, so it's actually should be coming out there pretty soon.
Just FYI, that word for the day is Zelophehad.
Zelophehad?
Zelophehad is how you say it.
Zelophehad. Zelophehad. Huh.
Huh?
That's
Oh,
Zelophehad.
here, hold on. I got this darn thing running. Let me cut this off. I was listening to 2 different things at one time.
So you going back to MD today?
Yeah, we leave. We're gonna leave. Try to get out here by noon. I got radiation at 4:50 this afternoon. they're gonna radiate the brain and the spinal cord, so. See just how damn crazy I am. I gotta run and pick up Quibidos and pick up some Boudin. There's like 4 people in the radiation unit that's giving me radiation that's from Louisiana, so I told them I'd bring them some Boudin. You know, a little bribery never hurt nobody.
You bribing them, Freddie? You better cut that out.
You know, the first day I went in there, it took them 55 minutes for the transporter to come down and get me. Of course, being a salesman, Randy, you know how it is when you're a salesman, you build relationships.
That's right.
So, of course, I get in there and I build relationships. Where are you from? Who you kids? All those things. I do all those things that a normal salesperson would do. Even when you're getting radiation on the brain, you still think like that, I guess. And lo and behold, they're from Louisiana. So I'm telling them, look, I'm bringing you some Boudin, blah, blah, blah. Do you know, as soon as my treatment was over, they personally, the technicians wheeled me up to my room. I didn't have to wait 1 minute. See, that's what happens. You take care of people, people will take care of you.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
the way
right.
life works. When people understood that.
Absolutely.
So yesterday, we got the second breakdown of the numbers of the tribes. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, we still got a minute. Marlo, so good to see you.
Good morning. Sorry I missed a couple of days. What are we starting at today?
It's going to be numbers 27. And Randy come up with the word, the dollars of Zelophehad, right, Randy?
Zelophehad.
Zelophehad.
What page is that going to be on?
273.
273. Okay.
You know, we always talk about how, you know, some things don't click when we read it. And then later on, it clicks and you understand it. Well, yesterday in Sunday school, we were doing Acts 17. You know, this is Paul's second journey. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And during his second journey, he's getting on to the Gentiles, you know, from the way they're acting in the you know, as far as all the different or gods they were worshiping
Uh-huh.
and everything. But how he brought it to them, you know, and everything he said, he wanted to criticize them, but he brought it to them in a I guess a almost like a sales point of view. He didn't really ridicule them and get on to them harshly. He just brought it to them naturally in their way that they could understand. And one of the guys in the group was saying, yeah, that's the same way in sales, because we always want to get to know the background of our customer, what we have in common. And that's how he was bringing to them, what they had in common. Because Paul, he goes, hey, I was there with y'all at one time. You know, I was, so everything I'm telling y'all, I've been through, you know. So
Was that
it's pretty neat how
relationship?
it all tied in together.
Surprise coming?
Ronnie, are you telling me to be quiet?
What's going on?
Yeah, obviously you had somebody talking in the background.
Yeah, tell them to be quiet.
So you were able to relate to it in your Bible study.
Well, how to relate more about his second journey, you know, I learned more about that, but also how it ties into my life as a salesman, you know, getting out there. Cause I mean, that's what we want to do. You don't go in there and hit them with the sales pitch right off. You try to get to know their background, what they do. You do some research on them. Like today's day, you know, you go to LinkedIn, but find out what they're about, go to their Facebook, you know, you stalk them and find out what their background is.
Try to find out where they get their rationale from.
Well, that and try to find a common denominator between y'all two. Whether it's
Knowledge is power.
Kids, yeah.
Knowledge is power.
And that's what
people
Paul
say all the
was trying
time.
to do.
Knowledge is power.
Acts
The more knowledge
17.
you got, the more power. Same thing with whether it's cancer, whether it's raising your kids, whether it's your job, knowledge is power. So I don't want to waste anybody's time here, so let's get this party started. So good to see everybody. Boy, it's going to be a beautiful day today. I can just tell it. And Debbie, your hair is getting longer.
I know. It's
Almost,
terrible.
it's like her grass. She ain't cut it yet.
You're right, Randy. It's like my grass. I ain't touched it. It's just growing. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
And then Marlon, I saw you on Facebook with a pretty lady yesterday.
Well, yeah, thank you. She's from, met her, she's from Fairfield. She's a real sweet lady.
There you go. Funny how a good looking woman can make us look better. Actually makes me look better all the time.
There you go.
Now, see, in Ronnie's case, Ronnie makes women look better. I always did. Hey, so let's get this party started. Since Randy come up with the word of the day, the daughters of Zelophehad, Randy, do you mind reading first?
Not at all.
Go ahead.
The daughters of Zelophehad. One day, a petition was presented to by the daughters of Zelophehad, Mila, Noah, Hagla, Micah, and Tirzah. The father, Zelophehad, was a descendant of Hefer, son of Gilad, son of Machar, son of Manasseh, son of Joseph. The women stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the tribal leaders, and the entire community at the entrance of the tabernacle. Our fathers died in the wilderness, they said. He was not among Korah's followers who rebelled against the Lord. He died because of his own sin, but he had no sons. Why should the name of... Hold on, guys.
Now, while Randy's doing that, Joseph's the one that was over the Egypt, right? It was over the grain and everything, correct?
Yeah.
So that's the descendant back to who this is. Good deal.
Yep. All right. Why should the name of our father disappear from his clan just because he had no sons? Give us property along the rest of the relatives. So Moses brought their case before the Lord, and the Lord replied to Moses, the claim of the daughters of Zelophehad is legitimate. You must give them a grant of the land with their father's relatives. Assign them the property that would have been given to their father, and give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If a man dies and has no son, then give his inheritance to his daughters. And if he has no daughters either, transfer his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. But if his father has no brothers, give his inheritance to the nearest relative in the clan. This is a legal requirement for the people of Israel, just as the Lord commanded Moses. Joshua chosen to lead Israel. One day, the Lord said to Moses, climb one of the mountains east of the river and look out over the land I have given the people of Israel. After you have seen it, you will die like your brother Aaron, for you both rebelled against my instructions in the wilderness of Zin. When the people of Israel rebelled, you failed to demonstrate my holiness to them in the waters. These are the waters of Meribah at Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. Then Moses said to the Lord, O Lord, you are a God who gives breath to all creatures. Please appoint a new man as leader of the community. Give them someone who will guide them wherever they go and will lead them into battle. So the community of the Lord will not be like sheep without a shepherd. The Lord replied, take Joshua, son of Nun, who has the spirit in him, and lay your hands on him. Present him to Eleazar, the priest, before the whole community, and publicly commission him to lead the people. Transfer some of your authority to him, so the whole community of Israel will obey him. When direction from the Lord is needed, Joshua will stand before Eleazar the priest, who will use the Urim, one of the sacred lots cast before the Lord, to determine his will. This is how Joshua and the rest of the community of Israel will determine everything they should do. So Moses did as the Lord commanded. he presented Joshua to Eleazar, the priest of the whole community. Moses laid his hands on him and commissioned him to lead the people, just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Chapter 27.
Isn't it something that God already knows? Of course, we know that he knows everything, so he's already laying the foundation for the second leader after Moses. You know, Moses, by all rights, Moses, and what we've really kind of learned, or what's really been brought to my attention is that Aaron was a pretty strong leader in the church early on. That's something I didn't realize until we did this Bible study. But Aaron's just as much responsible as Moses was, although Moses was more the talkies. And if we'll recall, can anybody remember why Aaron was brought into the mix so much?
Because Moses didn't like speaking in front of the Lord.
Way to go, Rick. Ding, 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 ding. I was in a Bible study yesterday and they were talking about that. So that brought that up. But that's exactly why, because Moses told God, I don't have the words.
Yeah.
You know, but God said, I'll provide you the words. But Aaron came along. Well, Aaron's already dead. So now God tells Moses, okay, you're fixing to die, but I'm going to take you and let you look at it, but you're never going to step foot in the promised land. And they never stepped foot in the promised land because, anybody remember why? Remember they set out the 12 tribes, the 12 scouts, and the scouts come back and say, oh, we can't beat these people. Whoa, no. But was it Caleb and Joshua? Those two felt they could. So I guess this is kind of the reward that God's going to give Joshua because of his obedience and his desire. He says, okay, look, I'm going to make Joshua the leader in as we go on. So he's laid out the groundwork. So now Joshua has become, and he sends him to Eleazar. Eleazar is the son or the descendant of Aaron, right? And he's the like the priest or the ritual leader of the Levites. Good morning, Becky. Good to see you. How many more days you got left?
4.
4 days. Awesome. So anybody else got anything about 27 before we move into 28?
Hey, real quick, I mean, it's you know, how the law was written for the daughters of Zelophehad, you know, how it is still continued on today.
To this day.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, you know, how that was the first law that was mandated back then, how it's still, you know, because if you look at it, if somebody doesn't have, it's not necessarily sons and daughters now, but it's your relatives.
Direct relative.
But so if you don't have anybody, if you died and you had $1 million, guess what? They're gonna find your nearest relative, whoever it is, whether it be, you know, your twice forgotten cousins, sons, daughters, or whatever, you know.
And that happens out there at times too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, this is weird how this is the first, you know, law that was written and it's still carried on today.
Okay, so as we move into 28, instructions concerning offerings. God gave new generational additional instructions about offerings that they should be part of their regular worship. We often need reminders of proper ways to acknowledge of God's reign in our lives. Listen to what I just said. We often need reminders of the proper ways to acknowledge God's reign in our lives.
Yeah.
That was the
Amen.
purpose of the rules and so forth. Are any of y'all watching The Chosen? I know I've asked this. So they come out with a new Chosen last night. And then that new Chosen, Jesus is talking. If you get a chance to go watch it, it's season 2, episode 5. But he takes a demon out. But if you get a chance, go watch it, because Jesus is sitting on a log there, and he talks about how the rules of the Torah will be taken over by the love and kindness, and talks about that. So last night I got to see Jesus Christ actually talk about the transition. So if you're ever bored figure that out. It don't cost nothing. You just gotta figure it out and watch on your TV and stream it to your TV, and you can watch on your phone, but it is some really, really, really awesome insight. And I think it's about as realistic as we can imagine. But that chosen is really good. So we're gonna move into Numbers 28. Randy, Ronnie, you up?
Okay, I got it. Numbers 28, the daily offerings. The Lord said to Moses, give these instructions to the people of Israel. The offerings you present as special gifts are a pleasing aroma to me. They are my food. See to it that they are brought at the appointed times and offered according to my instructions. Say to the people, this is the special gift you must present to the Lord as your daily burnt offering. You must offer 2 one-year-old male lambs with no defects. Sacrifice 1 lamb in the morning and the other in the evening. With each lamb, you must offer a grain offering of 2 quarts of choice flour mixed with 1 quart of pure oil of pressed olives. This is the regular burnt offering instituted at Mount Sinai as a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Along with it, you must present the proper liquid offering of 1 quart of alcoholic drink with each lamb, poured out in a holy place as an offering to the Lord. Offer the second lamb in the evening with the same grain offering and liquid offering. It too is a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The Sabbath offerings. On the Sabbath day, sacrifice 2 one-year-old male lambs with no defects. They must be accompanied by a grain offering of 4 quarts of choice flour moistened with olive oil and a liquid offering. This is the burnt offering to be presented each Sabbath day, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its accompanying liquid offering. The monthly offerings. On the first day of each month, present an extra burnt offering to the Lord of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 1 7-year-old, and 7 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. These must be accompanied by grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil, 6 quarts with each bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each lamb. This burnt offering will be a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. You must also present a liquid offering with each sacrifice, 2 quarts of wine for each bull, a third of a gallon for the ram, and 1 quart for each lamb. Present this monthly burnt offering on the first day of each month throughout the year. On the first day of each month, you must also offer 1 male goat for a sin offering to the Lord. This is in addition to the regular burnt offering and its accompanying liquid offering. Offerings for the Passover. On the 14th day of the first month, you must celebrate the Lord's Passover. On the following day, the 15th day of the month, a joyous 7-day festival will begin, but no bread will be made with yeast. But no bread made with yeast may be eaten. The first day of the festival will be an official day for Holy Assembly, and no ordinary work may be done on that day. As a special gift, you must present a burnt offering to the Lord, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. These will be accompanied by grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil, 6 quarts with each bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each of the 7 lambs. You must also offer a male goat as a sin offering to purify yourselves and make yourselves right with the Lord. Present these offerings in addition to your regular morning burnt offering. On each of the 7 days of the festival, this is how you must prepare the food offering that is presented as a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. These will be offered in addition to the regular burnt offerings and liquid offerings. The 7th day of the festival will be another official day for Holy Assembly, and no ordinary work may be done on that day. Offerings for the festival of the harvest. At the festival of the harvest, when you present the first of your new grain to the Lord, you must call an official day for Holy Assembly and you may do no ordinary work on that day. Present a burnt offering on that day as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It will consist of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 one-year-old male lambs. These will be accompanied by grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil, 6 quarts with each bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each of the 7 lambs. Also offer 1 male goat to purify yourselves and make yourselves right with the Lord. Prepare these special burnt offerings along with their liquid offerings in addition to the regular burnt offering and its accompanying grain offering. Be sure that all the animals you sacrifice have no defects. Number 28.
Once again, this is the second time he's gone into the actual rituals, and it just makes you wonder, these people must have been very, very wealthy to have all of these animals, because these were a lot of sacrifices. And the other thing that once again stands out to me is that this was a pleasant aroma to God. So it pleased God. And there was a little alcohol in there too, I mean,
Yeah.
so it was kind of like a party. But I was reading, and an altar for burnt offerings. An altar was a platform upon which offerings were made to God. The Hebrew word for altar and the verb meaning to slaughter are closely related. They are both used in connection with the ritual of sacrifice of animals to God as a covering for sin. So the purpose of the offering was a covering for their sin. The practice was widely known in the ancient Near East as well as in other parts of the world. Israel's immediate neighbors, the Canaanites, had their own altars and sacrifice rituals. And it just says how they made it out of uncut stone and made it clean and everything. But as I read down through here, it says, though we as Christians aren't required to build altars, we are to present our bodies as living sacrifices to God daily. So the ultimate sacrifice, once again, we'll go back to it, was Jesus Christ. But we are to sacrifice daily, and that's kind of our offering. So when we sacrifice to others, that's a pleasing aroma to God. And even in our ritual, and when I think of sacrifice today, I think of helping others. That's not really cutting the throat of a lamb or a bull or anything of that nature, but you're sacrificing something of yourself. Sacrifice your time, sacrifice your finances, sacrifice your love. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. If we think about it, it's easy to give some money to something. That's easy. But when you truly sacrifice your time and you give something that it's kind of like it's the ultimate sacrifice besides Jesus Christ. Anybody else? Brother Bill, good to see you this morning. Where y'all at?
Florence, South Carolina.
South Carolina. Well, you know you got a little frown on that face. You need to turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, it's been very frustrating this morning.
Has it? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm here. Then it makes it okay.
There you go. Well, we're going to keep you in our prayers. We're going to go on and finish out 29. Anybody would like to take 29?
Fred, what page are you on?
On page 275, Bridge.
All right.
Page 275. We've read 27 and 28. We got 29, then we'll be done for the day. Anybody want it? We're going to take it.
I'll read 20. Ronnie, you gonna read it?
I will if y'all want me to. I don't mind.
Okay.
I'll keep reading. Numbers 29. Offerings for the Festival of Trumpets. Celebrate the Festival of Trumpets each year on the first day of the appointed month in early autumn. You must call an official day for holy assembly, and you may do no ordinary work. On that day, you must present a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It will consist of 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. These must be accompanied by grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil, 6 quarts with the bull, 4 quarts with the ram, and 2 quarts with each of the 7 lambs. In addition, you must sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering to purify yourselves and make yourselves right with the Lord. These special sacrifices are in addition to your regular monthly and daily burnt offerings. They must be given at the prescribed grain, with their prescribed grain offerings and liquid offerings. These offerings are given as a special gift to the Lord, a pleasing aroma to him. Offerings for the Day of Atonement. 10 days later, on the 10th day of the same month, you must call another holy assembly. On that day, the Day of Atonement, the people must go without food and must do no ordinary work. You must present a burnt offering as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It will consist of 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. These offerings must be accompanied by the prescribed grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil, 6 quarts of choice flour with the bull, 4 quarts of choice flour with the ram, and 2 quarts of choice flour with each of the 7 lambs. You must also sacrifice 1 male goat for a sin offering. This is an addition to the sin offering of atonement and the regular daily burnt offering with its grain offering and their accompanying liquid offerings. Offerings for the Festival of Shelters. 5 days later, on the 15th day of the same month, you must call another holy assembly of all the people, and you may do no ordinary work on that day. It is the beginning of the Festival of Shelters, a 7-day festival to the Lord. On the first day of the festival, you must present a burnt offering as a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It will consist of 13 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings must be accompanied by a grain offering of choice flour moistened with olive oil, 6 quarts for each of the 13 bulls, 4 quarts for each of the 2 rams, and 2 quarts for each of the 14 lambs. You must also sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. On the second day of the 7th-day festival, sacrifice 12 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings of bulls, rams, and lambs must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. On the 3rd day of the festival, sacrifice 11 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings of bulls, rams, and lambs must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. On the 4th day of the festival, sacrifice 10 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings of bulls, rams, and lambs must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. On the 5th day of the festival, sacrifice 9 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings of bulls, rams, and lambs must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. On the 6th day of the festival, sacrifice 8 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings of bulls, rams, and lambs must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice a male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering, and liquid offering. On the 7th day of the festival, sacrifice 7 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings of bulls, rams, and lambs must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. On the 8th day of the festival, proclaim another holy day. You must do no ordinary work on that day. You must present a burnt offering as a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It will consist of 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 one-year-old male lambs, all with no defects. Each of these offerings must be accompanied by its prescribed grain offering and liquid offering. You must also sacrifice 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering, with its accompanying grain offering and liquid offering. You must present these offerings to the Lord at your annual festivals. These are in addition to the sacrifices and offerings you present in connection with vows, or as voluntary offerings, burnt offerings, grain offerings, liquid offerings, or peace offerings. So Moses gave all these instructions to the people of Israel as the Lord had commanded him. Numbers 29.
So once again, we get into the offerings, the sin offerings, and so forth. And now the next chapter we'll get into vows, and we'll start that tomorrow and everything of that nature. But once again, these are rituals that God had laid on Moses, and Moses transcribed down to the people to do these. And remember, they're doing them in accord with what God dictated. It's, once again, it just amazes me how many animals it is. And it's almost, but when we think about it, it's almost 1.5, 2 million people. So maybe there was that plentiful of animals. I'm guessing. I mean, had to be, or he wouldn't have said and done it. And then for how long did this go on? You know, had to be for some time. Anybody else got anything before we close out here for the day? Bridget, it was good to see you this morning, baby girl.
Oh, I fought to get in here. I've been fighting every morning. Took me that long to get in here. From
Sometimes that's
6:30
what we got to
till
do,
now.
baby girl.
Yes.
Gotta fight. But we're gonna get off here. I'll close this in prayer. Does anybody got anything they need to bring before the Lord this morning?
Can you hear me, Freddie?
Yes, sir.
I'm headed to Nacogdoches. I'm having a little procedure done in the office this morning. I think everything's gonna be okay. Just keep me in your prayers.
So Marlon's got a
Well, it's just a little minor procedure in the office, you know. But anyway, everything's probably gonna be fine.
okay. Okay,
I
I'll
gotta-
close this in prayer.
Okay, thank you.
Dear gracious Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for another glorious, glorious day that you gave us on this earth. I want to thank you for this group of people. Lord, I feel heavy burdens on hearts today. And I ask that you reach down and give peace, to give guidance, to give discernment, Lord. It isn't always what we want, but it's what your will is, Lord. And whatever that is, we want to do it for you, Lord. Even if it doesn't fall in line with us, Lord, we want to do it for you. I praise you. I praise you. I beg that this morning you be with the people that are going to be working on Marlon on his little operation procedure. I pray that you be with Bridget, continue to give her strength to go through her battles and missing her husband. I thank you so much for Ronnie and for his family, for Aunt Debbie and her beautiful hair, Lord. I thank you so much for Brother Bill as he got on here this morning, Lord. I ask that you continue to be with him and Vivi on their journeys across this change in their life, Lord. Continue to give them discernment to know the direction to turn and go, Lord. I thank you for Becky. I thank you for her children. I ask that you be with all the educators, be with all the military members all around the world that's protecting our great country, Lord. Please be with the leadership in this country. Give them discernment to make decisions that are going to benefit you, God. This is all about you. You're all knowing. I know you're all knowing. Lord, you tell us that if we have the faith and we tell a mountain to move into the water, it will move into the mountain. The mountain will move into the water, Lord. I believe that, Lord. I believe that you can heal me from this disease that I carry. But it be your will, Lord. If you choose me to carry this, then I ask you, let me carry it the way you want me to carry it, Lord. I praise you with every ounce and every soul and fiber of my body. I love you so, so much. And thank you for your son, Jesus Christ. He was the ultimate sacrifice. As we've read your word and the Israelites obeyed you, I thank you for your son, Jesus Christ. So, so much. I love you. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, y'all have a great day, okay?
Love you, Freddie.
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Anybody need something, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay.
Back at you.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Bye. Love you. Bye.